Hello Sunbeams! Today we are talking e-readers, specifically the Kindle Scribe and the Kindle Paperwhite, to see which of these e-readers may be the best option for you, as well as going over how I utilize these two Kindles, why I have two in the first place, why you most likely do not need two, and what may be the best one for you. We'll start with the Kindle Paperwhite. I have the agave green one and I just have a little print in the back. So opening it up, the first thing we see is our library. I think most people are super familiar with the Kindle Paperwhite. This is our book view. We have all of our book settings, from themes that they have preset to text size, which you can change to your liking, layout, so you can turn it sideways if you really felt so inclined. I really like doing this for bed and when I'm using my page turner. Then we also have our general contents tabs as well as popular highlights. I'm not going too in depth because I think most people know how general Kindles work. Our annotations, I just started this book so I don't have too many. And let's just review how annotating works. So you just press and hold, note, and then you have your little keypad. And that's just quick, easy to do. And if it's actually in the sideways view, you can see I can actually text on it a little bit like a phone. A very large phone. And then you have your stored locations, which you can access. You can search within the book itself. And then you also have the X-ray function, which is general to Kindles, and that just highlights notable clips, people, terms, images. So, for example, if there are lots of maps in the book, you can come here and see all of the images that are in the book, period. I'm not going to go too far since I just opened this book and I don't want to spoil too much for myself, but this is a really useful resource. And like, for example, AP Lit, it's gone and explained what that is, and then it also has where it appears, as well as some further research if you so wanted. So that is the book layout, and you can also come here and then you can scrub through the pages, or you can look at it like this. So that's our book view, and then we're back to our library. You have the ability to filter your library here, as well as here as well. And then the home page is just all of your library as well as your recommendations, continue series you started. This is basically Kindle's advertising page. And that is essentially the Kindle Paperwhite. Quick, easy, really nice hand feel and hold. Nice quality. This is a great one for being on the go. Now the Kindle Scribe. This one is Kindle's newest edition, and the biggest difference is that it has a pen that you can write on. So opening this up here, we have My Library. You see we have a few more tabs. We have Home, Library, Notebooks, and more. So you have a little bit more on the bottom, but generally we're quite similar. We have our filters up top, and you can also have household sharing. I'm not sure if that's something you can enable on the Paperwhite, but I've only seen it. I have only seen it on my Scribe. And then you also have your Notebooks tab. So in your Notebooks tab, you have a bunch of different options where you can either make folders or you can just have your notebooks wide open. So I usually use this for my morning pages most of the time, and then also like if I'm just taking general notes or whatever else on books. So let's just create a notebook. You have the option to choose several different templates from medium ruled with margins, wide ruled with margin, blank. There is some vertical ones, a graph, checklist, daily planner, monthly planner, weekly planner, habit tracker. I use the checklist a lot. And you can storyboard, and there's even a music sheet. So we'll just start here with medium ruled. I'll leave it as notebook 2. Let this get set up. And then we have our scribe pen. My nib is worn to the ground because I use this all of the time. And I have the premium pen, which means I can press this and I can program this button here to do whatever I want. And then I also have this one, which you can use for erasing. So that is my little writing. And oh wait, duh. I forgot that that's how you use it. So yeah, you can use it that way to erase, but I don't flip. As you can tell, I do not use that side. I just do my little thing. My workflow is much more comfortable like this. But you can set it up to highlight or do whatever you want to. There is also a highlighter here. So you can highlight your text. There's a manual eraser that you can select from the menu, as well as a lasso tool. So if I wanted to select this, I could select it, move it, I could copy, I could cut it, or I could just completely delete it that way. And this is your clipboard. So if I copied something, I could save it to the clipboard. So let's just give that a try. Maybe we'll use the highlighter a little bit, just so you get a sense. Now I'll give that a circle. I will copy it. And you see it says copy to clipboard, tap anywhere on the page to paste, and voila. We have that there. I can also undo, and I can move this to the left side. You can also change your pen options. So we have the pen, fountain, marker, pencil, as well as the widths here. Oh, actually, let's go back in and I can show you up here as well. So usually if you have tons and tons of pages, you can add your pages here, but you can also change the template. So let's say I want to add a checklist. I'll only apply it to the selected page. And do you see that only this one is changed? So I can call this checklist and say I'll film video and add that there. I can check it off, all as well. And then on this page, we still have that as the regular lined paper. And this is nice because the Scribe actually in my, I think almost 2-ish years of purchasing it, they've added so many features and it's really exciting actually. So even though when it first released, it was a little limited, every couple of months there's some new additions and new updates, and I'm thoroughly really enjoying it. You can also move your pages. So I can share this, share selected page, and then the options I get to share are to quick send it to my email address, or convert to text, quick send, share to email, convert to text, and email. So you have some options there. I believe I used to be able to move them across notebooks, so I think it might have just moved with the recent updates. And let's go and check out a book. So I've already read this one, so this one will be a bit better. And I have this in dark mode. So let's go to the beginning so we don't spoil anything for anybody who may like to read this book. So I have my text really big at the moment because I like to use it with my phone stand. So generally this is what it looks like. I have it in dark mode. How do I change? There we go. So this is what it looks like in light mode. You don't have that annoying box, and you can see it's warming up because I have it by the window. It will automatically adjust there. And I can adjust this way, and here is where we have a difference where we can either take a written note or a text note. And those will be saved for you. So now, when I come here to my notes, we have that written here, and then we also have the text note that I made. So all of those are saved in the book, which is really nice. You cannot just write anywhere you want in the margins. That will not happen. But I think it's okay. Our settings toolbar over here is quite similar. This particular book just does not have X-ray, but it does have the option. And you saw just there I was able to hide the writing toolbar. I can bring that back, and that just enables me to drop a sticky note here and do exactly the same thing. So if you just want to put a note on the page without actually having a whole highlight, you can also do it that way, and you can move it side to side, which is really nice. So if this is annoying you, you can go and hide your writing toolbar. Everything else is the same in this, everything is the same in this general toolbar where you can, okay, there we go. Apparently you can only do columns if it is sideways. So now you can have double columns. I don't usually do this that frequently, so doing something new today. And you can rotate it whichever way you want. And just to give you an idea of the hand feel, you can hold it like this. And you can also rotate it, and it will also automatically adjust. I have the window right here just as an example for glare. It's already adjusting back to me. But yeah, it's quite comfortable and really nice actually. I really love the Scribe because it's more similar to a physical book. So let me grab one to show you. Okay, so here is a typical hardback sized book. And then here's the Kindle Scribe. So you can see actually as I'm holding them up, the Kindle Scribe in its landscape view is actually a little shorter. And then if I open this up, you can see that an actual book, if you're holding it, is just a little bit bigger. So you have real book, Kindle Scribe. And then if I rotate this back, I come here and I switch my orientation back. This is actually a bit more comparable if you are holding it this way. It's just a little, you basically have this additional lip to hold on to, which is nice. So that is that. And then you can just hold it like this. One tap gives you your turn. And I have my page turn animations on. You don't need to have them on if you would not like to. But I actually find it quite comfortable. And I will give you an example of what that looks like once and it actually has these little grippies on them. So how I will use this if I just don't want the bulk and I know I'm in the house, like maybe at the kitchen table, this isn't going anywhere. And you have a nice little grip. So yeah, that is the Kindle Scribe. And overall, I really think that these Kindles are both great options. I really don't think you can go wrong either way. I'm going to put this back into dark mode. And move this on. So let's go over generally the biggest differences. The Kindle Paperwhite, who is it for? This is best for those who are on the go, they want an everywhere Kindle, they're traveling a lot, and they always want a book on them. This is going to be your general best bet, simply because it's so compact, it's easy, it's waterproof. How I use it is, again, if I'm on the go, traveling, it's pretty much always on me when I leave the house. This is my designated purse Kindle. And this is the Kindle. It's also nice if I'm taking a bath and I want a really cozy reading experience, because this one is waterproof. So I think if you are looking at your pros and cons list, this is definitely the one that you will get the most bang for your buck out of. It's the most versatile, and you really cannot go wrong with this one whatsoever. Now, the Kindle Scribe, I think, is best if you truly, adding in that feature as well, if you truly prefer a larger book style size e-reader. It's super duper light, honestly, and it has a nice hand feel. It's very comfortable, so you can get cases that will hold the pen, or this will hold it for you, and it's fairly strong, honestly. So like, it's not, I wouldn't throw this in your bag by itself with nothing protecting it, nothing holding it in, but it's not, you can move it around, you can shake it, and you'll be fine. So this one is definitely best for if you primarily read at home, you're not really huge on bringing this Kindle out with you, you definitely don't want to put it in your purse unless you have a large purse, that is. It's good for school if you'd like to take notes. Obviously it's not an iPad, so you don't have a really robust internet browser on there. I use it maybe once or twice in a blue moon, but if you just want something to take notes with a paper-like feel, perfectly fine and great for sedentary work. Not the best if you need something portable. Definitely, if you want to take notes on your books, this is definitely the one, because clearly there is no pen on here, even though you can take your little typed notes with the keyboard. Keep in mind though, you cannot write in the margins of your books. You do have to use that sticky note feature. How I usually use this is I use it primarily for my non-fiction readings, or when I want to do intense handwritten notes. So if it's a fantasy book that's really dense and I know I'm going to be making a lot of notes, this is a great one to use just because everything is big. I can use my pen. I can write things in if I want to. I can move a little bit quicker. This is definitely best for cozy reading at home. I really don't take this with me anywhere. I did go to Fan Expo Denver last weekend, and there were some writing conferences, so I did bring this simply so I could take notes, and that worked really well. It was really light, didn't bother me in my backpack, just popped in this case and was good to go. I also use this religiously every single day because I have a lot of thoughts and I journal every morning, and as I'm going through the day I think of things, I'll jot them down in a to-do list before I actually plug them into my Notion and my planner and use them in a more structured way. But this is generally a great option for me simply because I have a lot of thoughts and I felt really guilty going through so many notebooks all the time with my journals. So this is really nice. And then I can also convert it to text and send it to my email, which is definitely hit and miss. If you have neater handwriting, it's more likely to read it. But I would say it's been pretty solid, and my handwriting isn't always the most legible, especially when my brain is going a million miles an hour. So that is definitely dependent on how neat your handwriting is. But I would say as handwriting recognition is probably, in my usage anyway, equal to the handwriting recognition on the iPad that I use. So that's just me and my particular handwriting style. So for you, it will be different and you'll have to I also use it for reading long internet articles as well, just to give myself a break from the computer screen or my phone screen. I can easily hit a plugin on my Chrome browser and it will send it straight to my scribe. So what should you do for your choices? And at the time of filming this video, Amazon Prime Day is coming up next week, and they are usually on a huge discount. I know the Kindle Scribe at the moment is already 30% off, so I'll link those prices. I didn't want to give any direct prices in the video because they change and fluctuate so much with the sales. So generally, take a look at those links if you want to see the pricing. Which brings me to our considerations list. So first, I think you should consider what is your budget, because that's a huge determining factor. This can range anywhere from $200 to $400, depending on the specs and your storage, how you jazz it up with the pen or the premium pen or the regular pen. And by the way, the regular pen is almost exactly the same, except you don't have the button and I believe you don't have the eraser. I'll double check that and make sure I am telling you the truth. So consider your budget. This one is definitely significantly cheaper, and if you are doing a trade-in of an older Kindle, you can get an even bigger discount, or just wait for the Prime days. But this one is usually a lot more cost effective. Another big consideration is if you are going to take the Kindle out of the house and how big your bag is if you are taking it out of the house. So if you are leaving the house with your Kindle, unless you have a big bag with a sufficient amount of padding, I would leave this one at home. You can if you have more of a tote bag style or backpack that you bring around, perfectly fine. But if you have more of a standard size crossbody or just handbag, the Kindle Paperwhite or even the Kindle Basic. Of course, what size do you prefer to read on? Do you want something that's more of the size of a regular book with a similar weight and feel, or do you want something small and compact? Lastly, will you be taking written notes at all? If you don't think you will be writing at all, taking notes or journaling, then this makes a little bit less. Generally, I love them both. I read with them both in bed. I bring them both out sometimes, but mostly this one. And I get a ton of use out of them. You do not need to, but simply because I am a massive journaler and I go through notebooks like nobody's business, the Kindle Scribe made the most sense for me when I'm journaling as well as when I'm reading nonfiction. I just want something larger, or I'm reading a more intensive book where I will be taking a lot of notes. Okay, Sunbeams, I hope that was useful and this video gave you a little bit more insight on whether the Kindle Scribe or the Kindle Paperwhite may be the correct e-reader for you. And don't forget to also look into the Kobo line of e-readers. They have some amazing options as well. So don't feel like you're only limited to these two. There's so many options. As always, I wish you a magical rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!